Hey, good afternoon, everybody. October the 28th, 2025. We got 5:14 in the p.m. and these nice fall displays with the mums, the bales of hay, the pumpkins, the shocks of corn. Very nice. We got a little slight wind, but not too bad. We got about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is, Celsius, like 12 degrees maybe Celsius. So here we'll head right up Michigan Avenue. We'll go up towards the river walk here, and I'm probably going to take an easy, lazy walk home tonight. We walked a long way yesterday, 5 miles on the way home there. We went way west in Lincoln Park there, not west in the city, west in the neighborhood of Lincoln Park, but still took me a long time to walk over here there. So we'll just head straight up Michigan Avenue. We'll go up Rush Street and we'll go up through the Gold Coast. There should be some Halloween decorations there in the Gold Coast. And then we'll cut over through Lincoln Park there. We'll just go through our usual haunts. But yeah, this Friday we'll head to Haunted Halstead there. And at least that's the plan. We got the costume contest. Wes, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Wes Green here. So here we'll get across the street. So we're gonna go. And yeah, we'll just start to get dark early. It's really going to get dark. Hey, University of Cincinnati, there go Bearcats. That's good. Yeah, wait till next week after the time changes. We'll get out of work like this time, and it'll be dark already. We'll enter the 6 months of darkness where the only time it's light is when I'm at work. I'll be walking. Well, we'll get some more light in the morning. We'll get to see some more sunrises. Actually, it'd be probably more light in the morning than at night, but it'll be perfect for after we get past Halloween. They'll start setting up the Michigan Avenue holiday lights there. We saw they were setting up lights over on in Streeterville there. We went to the beach today, Ohio Street Beach. Sounds like the bagpiper's out. The bagpiper's playing over there. We got some good footage of him. And I've been seeing him around more often playing the bagpipes there. That's great. Yeah, Christy, how you doing there? Canal de Miguel. No, this is live. This is it's 5:16 in the p.m. there, Canal. We got October the 28th, 2025. I see your message there. Is this honestly live or pre-recorded? I've been live streaming. See that? Hear that siren? I've been live streaming for almost 3 years now on TikTok. I'm moving away from TikTok. I'm live streaming exclusively on YouTube now. So you can check out my content there if you go to my live tab. There's all the reruns there. Why would does anybody attempt that? Does anybody attempt to pre-record stuff and act like it's live? That would be hard to do with the comments. Now, I know I don't answer all the comments because fortunately, we get a lot of people tuning in, and sometimes, I miss a lot of comments, so I know that must frustrate people that they made a comment that I don't react to each and every comment. We usually do it in bunches here, but see, I see Keith there. Keith, yeah, Game 3 was amazing. Went to 18 innings there. We talked about the World Series on this morning. Yeah, the Dodgers won 6-5 there. 18 innings. They played like 2 whole games there. And can you believe Ohtani's going to pitch tonight? I think Game 4 starts tonight. Ohtani got 2 home runs, 4 walks. Well, that was just in the first part of the game. Well, it went to 18 innings there yesterday. But yeah, the World Series is already a classic. And we'll see what happens tonight here with Ohtani pitching. But yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays there, they had chances to win. I saw they had a guy got called out at third, and I didn't stay up for the whole thing. I couldn't stay up that late. I think it went to 3 a.m. for Toronto, and at midnight there, after midnight for the Dodgers. Christy M, how you doing there? Yeah, Keith. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Bad Bunny's gonna do the halftime show there at the Super Bowl there. Yeah, the river's kind of green. It kind of has a green hue to it. I mean, it looks blue to me right there. It probably looked more greenish over this way. You should see it in March. In March, they literally dye the river green with food coloring. And, well, actually, it's a chemical to find leaks in pipes. It's orange when it hits the water, and then it turns green when it, I don't know. But here's Jean-Baptiste Point de Sable. They got them all cleaned up there. I think somebody did something with his eyes. Somebody put some white around his eyes, and that's why they had to, you know, like the whites of his eyes there, and they didn't like that, so they cleaned it up. They restored him there. Here's the first non-Indigenous resident of Chicago. He used to have his log cabin there. His first wife was Potawatomi. Or no, his only wife. His wife was Potawatomi. That's what I meant. Not his first wife. Here's her name was Kitty Hawa. Here's the Wrigley Building, Trump Tower. We'll head up Michigan Avenue. Here's the Apple Store. We saw the other Apple Store up in North and Clybourne last night. Yeah, look at that nice view. You get to the skyline of Chicago, the vintage skyscrapers there. Mather Tower, the Jewelers Building, the London House, 333 North Michigan. There's the Wrigley Building. And there's where Bob Newhart worked there. Here's the Tribune Tower. Hey, beautiful dogs here. Yeah, how you doing? I tried to get in there. They had some pumpkin thing going on, but there was no way I was getting past security, which is fine. They were just doing their job. But hey, there's Jack Brickhouse. Yeah. Hall of Fame broadcaster. Yeah, it's overcast. It was sunny. It was sunny at lunchtime. And it just, there's some high, thin clouds. But hey, happy Halloween week. We saw some good Halloween decorations last night. So if you missed it, got some reruns. Yeah, I was doing weird things with my voice. I gotta figure out what I did wrong. I was trying to do where it would translate my voice, and I got it to work on one of my reruns, my little shorts, and it was messing up. Like I posted that video of the car that got rear-ended with the trunk was all messed up there on Clybourne, and it was using a robot voice. And then I posted 2 videos late this afternoon. It was doing the same thing, but I quickly corrected them, and I got to figure out it's messing up with my shorts there. It's my short. It's doing a AI voice, and I don't want that. But that's why I'm focusing all my energy on YouTube now. I know I'm letting TikTok fall by the wayside because I got to learn how to use YouTube. YouTube is becoming like a TV station network. The people actually use it for real TV now, and people are doing even video series in the vertical format. They said that's going to be a new genre. Hey, look at this. Here's the trumpetist here. Wow. The smooth trumpetist there. Hey, smooth jazz. Oh, listen to that twirl. He twirled the guitar. He could his cheeks were expanding like Dizzy Gillespie, which is it's a real trumpetist. I mean, he plays all the time, and he can control the air there through his cheeks like Dizzy Gillespie. And other Louis Armstrong could do that too. Isn't that amazing? So hey, thanks for tuning in there. Do you see that there? That was some nice jazz there. We get treated to some. We see the trumpetist down by where I work there, and that's a different guy. That's a different guy than the one we see, because the other guy, he's in a wheelchair, but this guy is a different trumpetist there. Michigan Avenue, magnificent mile. We're crossing the Nordstrom. We just crossed. This was Grand Avenue here. We were there earlier. So hey, we'll head up Michigan Avenue, and here's the crowds here on Michigan Avenue on a Tuesday. Just walking home from work here. Thanks for tuning in there. That was lovely, Sam. Did you hear that? Yeah, very nice. Some nice jazz there. Great player. Thanks everybody for sticking on for that. I gave the guy a tip. Usually if I film people for any amount of time, I'll give them a tip. We did it with the bagpiper. We did it with the other trumpet guy. Hey, there's a nice dog there. Hey. Street performers still here on Michigan Avenue. We're at Ohio and Michigan here. We got 5:25 in the PM. We're by the Aritzia here. They got the music. Yeah, we're waiting for the left turns here. We got probably about 56 degrees. We got 5:26 here in the PM here. We'll head Michigan Avenue. We'll go by La Katrina here. You got Dia de los Muertos coming up. Check out Ernesto Chicago Nuggies. I finally saw. Thanks, Chris, and everybody else. I saw that commented on his stuff as well. There, Ernie went in Pilsen this weekend. There was a Dia de los Muertos festival. They had a stage, and he filmed that. But he found the Dia de los Muertos decorations there. The offerings and all the amazing. He did a really good job editing it with the music. He's got a really good video of that place there. I think it's on 19th Street there in Pilsen. There she is, La Katrina, Dia de los Muertos. Everybody's taking pictures of her there. And here, we'll head around here. See, people miss the stickers. I know that's one negative of TikTok. People, my subscribers, they enjoyed doing the stickers. So we'll find some other way to gamify YouTube, the gamification of live streaming, which is great. I don't know, what do people think? I'll do a poll. You know, is it useful for me to post reruns still to TikTok? I thought at first I would still post reruns to TikTok because it would remind people that I was live streaming on YouTube, and so people from TikTok would watch me, remind them that I was still live streaming on YouTube. But it becomes a lot of work for me to move it over there. And then I noticed TikTok doesn't like, TikTok's algorithm notices when content doesn't come from TikTok. It pushes, like if I would record it and post it first to TikTok and then YouTube, it would go further than if it went to YouTube and then I posted it to TikTok. It notices where it came, and it messed the resolution. You notice the resolution, the audio quality is worse. TikTok does that on purpose. And I'm afraid with their new terms and conditions, if they fully enforce it, I could ban my account if I post stuff from YouTube to TikTok. So that's why they don't seem to be enforcing it now, just like they're not enforcing people, you know, Ernie and I, when other people were worried about, you know, like we filmed the lions eating red meat, if it would ban it because it was like blood, you know, stuff like that. You know, it just, you never know what you could get banned for with their stupid algorithm. It's very hard for live streamers. At least it was for me. Maybe I'm overly sensitive to it here. I'm overly sensitive to a lot of things. But hey, welcome to Chicago. There's the giant Starbucks here. We're heading up Michigan Avenue. We'll go past the giant squirrel here. And Alvin, how you doing there, Dolores? Yeah, the goat gift. Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody for all the gifts. There's ways to send gifts and super stickers and stuff with this, or you can just do my PayPal. Here's the giant squirrel. There's the giant squirrel. There's the Ambulance going by here. 74. There, it's making a left. It's going to the Streeterville hospitals there. It's going to Northwestern. There's a lot of ambulance activity going to the hospitals in Streeterville. There's Nike Town. There's Nike Town here in Michigan Avenue. Here's the Converse store. There's the Harry Potter store across the way. They got the floating candles. Yeah, look at that. Converse. Right here we'll, hey, Dolores. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks Grim Evil, Angie Love, Pete, Alvin, Dolores, Wes. Hey, we got the whole gang back together here. Subi. Yeah. Hey, we got the light. There's the Tip Top Tap, the Allerton there. They got the floating candles there for the Harry Potter. Scott James. Thanks, Subi. That's what I'm doing. You know how lazy a live streamer is. So I think I'm just going to just keep the reruns here. You know why? Because I'm monetized on YouTube. I'll try to minimize the ads because I know no one wants to watch the long reruns there where every 5 minutes you got an ad blaring really loud. I'll try, you know, I cut out the Halloween things and posted to the video there, and I purposely limited the commercials to one at the beginning, and then I would try to go like a half an hour before the next commercial, so, or at least 15 minutes, so you wouldn't have to endlessly skip through ads. And I don't care if I don't make any money doing it, you know, it's just I'd rather have the engagement there. We can make money other ways. But here's One Chicago Tower. I just don't want to rely on a social media company. You know, can you believe that there's a guy that I'm learning from. He gives good tips about how to use YouTube. He's young. He's like in his 20s, and he's been doing this since before the pandemic. And he really he has multiple YouTube accounts, and over like 10 or 12 YouTube channels. Most of them he has faceless. This guy makes $500,000 a month on YouTube. He said he made $10 million over his career just posting YouTube videos. Now he's at the high end. That's what's possible, and he's probably one of the biggest earners on YouTube. If I could make a few $1,000s doing this, it would be worth it, you know. And over my career in TikTok, it was chump change. TikTok never really paid me what I deserved for the size of my account, and that's why it's going to get worse. TikTok is buying back their stock. Oracle's cheap. Larry Ellison's cheap. Or not Larry Ellison, the other guy. That they're not going to pay anybody in the creator fund. They just, how do you get to be a billionaire? You screw a bunch of other people out of their money, you know. And so we'll find a way to get back at them. Here we'll cross. This is Michigan Avenue looking south here, and here's Michigan Avenue looking north. Look at the water tower. Look at the John Hancock, Chicago, Illinois. We got 5:32 in the p.m. here, and we got October 28th. No, is that right? Today the 28th. I lose track of the days. It goes by so fast. Yeah, Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025. There's the One Chicago Tower, Chicago Avenue. We're waiting for the left turns here. So there's the Allerton Tip Top Tap. Doing the dishes, Soupy. Hey, thank you. Oh, that's good. That's okay, Christy M. Yeah, you're cooking, washing dishes. Yeah, your hands are full. Trust me. You can put me on the background. You can treat this like a radio station. I'm posting at least my morning live stream. I did my lunchtime yesterday. I'm posting some of my live stream reruns to a podcast, so you can just listen to it as a podcast. I try to at least cover the news stories from the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and the Chicago Tribune as we head into work. We have some interesting discussions. And, you know, I don't expect anybody's to agree with all my commentary, my viewpoints there. We got to talk about something. I just tell you my take on it. And I complain a lot because I'm a man. I complain and it's annoying, but thanks for listening. It's like therapy for me. Humane Society. There, we'll head up Rush Street. We got some wind here. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll walk along the lakefront if it's sunny. And there might be some rain. I guess that's what this cloud, so I didn't check the forecast. One of these days this week we'll walk by the morning, catch the sunrise, if it's sunny, because the time's about to change, and then it'll rise a lot earlier. And it'll set. There's Joey. There's this Pearson. This is Pearson Street. Yeah, there's the Loyola Sister Jean Loyola campus down here. Yeah, speaking the truth. Hey, Leadwire, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in here on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, they get a big much. Yeah, I'm gonna start making a better effort to limit the ads on the longer videos so people will watch it, because the YouTube does that by default. When I post it and I click the monetize, it really loads it up with ads like every 3 minutes, and I can't imagine. Yeah, I don't expect anybody to watch 30 ads to get through an hour of a video. That's more than TV. That's kind of annoying. So, you know, maybe even if I post content without any commercials, people would be more apt to pay for a subscription, and then it would make more sense, you know. And maybe I'll work on that. Maybe I'll do a different tier of reruns, where if you're a subscriber at the most basic level there, you get access to commercial-free reruns. That would be a nice option, wouldn't it? Because you know, and not everybody's available. One of the reasons I like YouTube is that if you miss a live stream, and it's going to happen, you know, where you're driving or something, you can't watch. You're doing something else. You slept in. I'm streaming at a weird time. You can. If you missed one, you can watch the whole rerun, and you can still comment on it. I know it's not live, but you still get the live experience. You'll be able to see the comments there, and content's content. And we'll keep on producing here. If I'm walking, I'm talking here. I know I never shut up. Here's the 900 North Michigan. Here's the Rivian. We're on Rush Street, a block west. There's the John Hancock. You're seeing it looking down Joey Chestnut Street here, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, Mike Dicka way. Mike Dicka had his restaurant down there. You can still see it says Dicka's. And he's got his face in the concrete there. Somebody drew a caricature of him with his mustache. Here's Jenny's Ice Cream. It's called Connor's Park. What is that? 10% chance of rain tomorrow with the wind advisory. Okay, that's interesting. So the waves might be high tomorrow, but it'll be windy. So that's the trade-off. We get nice waves when the wind picks up sometimes. Sometimes, not always. But then it becomes like hard to hear me with the wind. It's a strange combo. So, well, it makes sense. Usually when you get by a big body of water, you feel some breeze anyway. Thanks Dan, for the weather forecast there. So what else is going on? Anything else happening? Here we're heading up, here's the Tesla store. Wabash in Delaware. Here, let's cross here so we can do some Tesla window shopping. Elon Musk needs to be bailed out. He needs a big pay package, whether they meet their sales projections or not. He wants to be guaranteed what he's deserved and owed. Maybe he can cover Trump's legal fees. Here's the Tesla store in Chicago, Rush Street in Delaware. Remember, early this year we saw protests here, but I guess that's all over. I haven't heard much from Elon anywhere lately. Has anybody heard Elon? Is he okay? Hey, you can ride the little ATV there. Hey, the Flying Nun car there in red. Got the wings there. Looks like the Habit. The Flying Nun, remember that? What was that, Sally Fields? Hey, look at the cats. Hey, it's Aritzia See, we'll do some window shopping here. We'll go up. We went down Oak Street this morning, and so we'll head up Rush Street here. We'll check out all the high-end fashion shops here. And thanks for tuning in here. Hey, yeah, nice fashion. Hey, there's the Super Puff. Get your big coat. Winter's coming. What else is happening? Oh, I'm missing a bunch of comments here. Grim Evil Chris. Julie, Colorado, how you doing there? Yeah, Nancy, Wes. Pandora's getting bad. Yeah, Pandora. Yeah, the music. TikTok will never be the same. Yeah, isn't that a shame? TikTok, you see how much it's just ads. It's just pushing. How you doing? Just pushing ads. Old Chicago commercials. 1-800-202-LUNA. What's the Empire? They used Empire on Triumph the Insult Dog when they went to Wiener Circle. Phoenix, how you doing there, Kathy? Subi. Yeah, 588-2300 Empire today. See, I just did a free commercial there. See what you did there? See how it gets stuck in your head? Go to 2444 West Fullerton. We have a large selection of glass tile. I remember that commercial. I used to always see that because I lived on Fullerton, so I remember that. And it was a nice woman that worked for that company, and it was Tile Outlet, 2444 West Fullerton. We have a large selection of glass tile. Here's the purple lights here. Breast cancer awareness here. This is the Oak Street here. Oak Street. We went down there this morning. There's the 900 North Michigan. Hey, here's Prada, the Devil Wears. Yeah. So here we'll head up Rush Street here. How you doing? Hey, Prada. Yeah. Yeah, Elon's on a ketamine trip. I don't know if I can say that. I know what you mean there. Yeah, it's a horse tranquilizer. You've seen Dicka lots of times. Chicago Toxic Donut. You worked at Rush Hospital, you'd be there for his appointments. Hey, that's great. The coach, that's great. Yeah, Mike Dicka. I think he still has a restaurant in Oak Brook, right? Yeah, there's still one out in the suburbs. Back to society, yeah. He's in a time. They put Elon in the timeout. Cool news. It goes, Alvin, yeah. You got YouTube Premium? Commercials everywhere, yeah. They got to make that money. Bezos. He's staying with Bezos. Yeah, they're going to Mars. The Dior store. Yeah, the security was there. What, you were scoping it out? You were scoping it out. You're going to do a smash and grab? I'm joking. Nice. Hey, thanks, Gene. Yeah. Bob Rohrman. I'm Bob Rohrman. Yeah, he's the car salesman. What was that, in Libertyville? I'm Bob Rohrman. He's always laughing like they just show like the bloopers. Like his commercials are just bloopers, and he never gets to the commercial, and they just laugh, and that's what they show. And it works because he's having such a great time selling cars and making commercials that he's so happy making all that money. Bob Rohrman, but car salesman. Hey, look at that! But he's got a mustache that makes him look like a lion, just like me. He's like Steve Lyon. Is Steve Lyon still streaming there on TikTok? Everybody watching Steve Lyon still? That's great. So here we're at Mariana Park. The fountain's on, but you notice what's gone? They took out all the seating. They took out all the chairs and the tables. All our friends that we saw here all summer sitting out with the chairs. And isn't it amazing how fast time goes? They just set those things out, and now it's gone. Mariana Park, the Viagra Triangle here, Russian State Street. We're going to head up to the Gold Coast, and we'll check out some Halloween decorations here. So I could go down Cedar, and we can come up Elm. I think we tried Bellevue. Bellevue, there wasn't many Halloween decorations. I know there's some on Elm, so we're going to skip Cedar because there are a few Halloween decorations, but not enough for me to go out of my way. And we already went down this street earlier, like last week. So we'll get up to Elm Street, and then we'll head up Astor. We'll go up Astor Street tonight. Astor Street's a nice street anyway because of the beautiful housing there in the Gold Coast, but there's some nice Halloween decorations. And of course, we filmed them all before, but this is on my way home from work. And I just want to get home tonight and watch that Game 4 of the World Series. Starts at 7 p.m. tonight, Central Time, Chicago time, right? Yeah. $99.99. Bob Rohrman. So you got a name like that, you got to use it to sell cars. I'm sure you've heard the comedy bit, and of course it struck a chord with me because I grew up, even though I grew up in the Indiana, down by Cincinnati, the southeast side of Indiana, we always got commercials for Tom Raper RV, and there's another comedian where he got the same commercials because they would advertise all over the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, and maybe into Michigan even. I don't know how far they. How you doing? Brian Really Chicago. That's good. Thanks for saying hello. That's good. So hey, thanks for saying hello, friends and neighbors there. Hey, who's ready to rumble here? Look at that nice punching bag there. I need a punching bag like that. Yeah. What is this? A gym? 11. I don't know. Nate Burkus. I guess it's a physical trainer. Tom Raper RV. Who's heard of Tom Raper RV? It's in Richmond, Indiana. Richmond is if you go I-70, which goes between Indianapolis and Dayton, Ohio, or Columbus. Interstate 70. Richmond, Indiana is near the border of Ohio and Indiana, and there's a huge RV dealership there. I guess it's still there. It was called Tom Raper RV. And he's like, how can you have a name like Tom Raper and you're selling RVs, you know? And he had a jingle, and he's always like, Tom Raper RV. And I'm sure you saw that comedian that gave that bit. Yeah, it's an unfortunate name. But he sold a lot of RVs. Yeah, Trump's the... Yeah, we need to put the president's face on that punching bag. That would be interesting. Get some aggression out, especially after his foreign trips. Here's... Hey, look at that. So this is a real pumpkin. That's a real pumpkin they carved to look like a cat or like a nice jack-o'-lantern there. There's real pumpkin carvings here. And that's how you do it. They painted some here. See, nice simple Halloween decorations here. They got the ADA accessible, get up the stairs there. Hey, trick or treat. They just decorated these pumpkins here. Here we're on Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Elm Street, Chicago, Illinois. This is the Gold Coast. It's very expensive housing, but it's beautiful. Look at these beautiful facades, the stoops. We got the flag. Look at that. We got some pumpkins and gourds. See how the garden apartments are tucked under the... See that door there? That's how you get to the garden apartment, or you can call it the basement, but we call them garden apartments here because usually they're lived in. Usually they're residential spaces, and you still get some light because you got a window. See, like that. See, look at that. That's exactly how it is here. And yeah, look, you got the stuff on the door there. They got some nice mums there. Look at this. See, it's such a beautiful... Look at this urban design. Look at the detail of the housing here, the porches, the rhythm of the townhomes that all share walls here. And look at this Richardsonian Romanesque. They got nice decorations here across the street. This is called Elm Street, Gold Coast, Chicago. We're checking out Halloween decorations here. Friends and neighbors here. Look at the hey, look at it. There's the cute pumpkin there. That's a nice face there. Yeah. Hey, they're waiting to get in there. So here, we'll keep going here. We'll pass, and they're doing deliveries. They're doing DoorDash. That's good. So here's some more Halloween decorations coming up here. Gold Coast, Chicago. Yeah, it's pleasant to look at. Nice townhomes. Hugo, I'm glad you're seeing this. Margie, John Doe, the Gold Coast. You're right. Rich people, you got it. See, it was originally rich people too, because you see there, behind there, it says National Historic Register of Places. Potter Palmer, the architect. Potter Palmer ran the Palmer House Hilton there. I don't know if that was his son. I always say I'll look into this. Look at this. Look at that terracotta there, how it wraps around here. Oh, look, there she's moving. There's Grandma. Hey, I like her laugh. I like her pink gown. Oh, she's turning all the way around like the poltergeist. Look at that. How does she do that? She turns around. Look at Look at the nice scarecrow here. Hey, we got the skeleton. Yeah, there's the baby. Oh, we'll have to show that. So here, but look at this. Yeah, this is on the National Register of Historic Places. There, she's talking. Come on, tell us something here, Granny. Oh, look at that.
My bones coming to tuck you in while you're sleeping. Sweet scream.
It's nice how the wind's blowing her shawl there. And she turns around and then she spins around every once in a while. Here you got the severed foot, got the rat. Yeah, we got some ghosts and yeah, Potter Palmer's house here. Hey, you doing there, skeleton? Let's see if we can get her to spin around one more time here. Let's see if the Granny they're surprised. Oh, look at her head. There it goes.
Come closer, little one.
So you gotta go past that to get your candy there. And here, look at this poor. Oh, the kid's crawling. The kid's trying to get out. So they got the kid on. See, the kid's tied to a string, and the kid's trying to get out. Can we help the kid get out here? Look at that. So here's the creepy kids. Look at this poor girl there. She ate the barbed wire there. It's in her mouth. And then look at the dog here. Here's the girl's got the hand in the pumpkin there. But this guy's trying to get out. Oh, the poor guy, no one will play with him. Hey, look at that door, look at that window. So hey, Elm Street is pretty windy here, so the wind's going to pick up because we're near the lake. And so bear with me, it's going to be hard to hear me, but we're just going to quickly walk up to Division Street, and then we'll go up to Astor, and the wind should hopefully die down. And see, the tall buildings, it really collects a lot of wind. There's a lot of wind coming off of the lake. I'm going to quickly check to see if there's waves, and see if there's any waves. Traffic's starting to back up on Lakeshore Drive, heading southbound. There's the John Hancock. We're at Elm Street and Inner Lakeshore Drive. So we'll just walk up the block here. The Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, did you see that? She had her laugh there, that woman with the pink shawl there. She would spin around. She was quite a contortionist. Yeah, it's windy hell. It's windy as hell. You got it. Yeah, it's windy. Welcome to the windy. See, we're hell on earth. Halloween. The president calls Chicago a hellhole. So hey, this is where you want to come for Halloween here. Come to the Windy City here. Yeah. The president cares about us so much. He wants to send the National Guard to, or no, he wants to send the Army. He wants to send the regular Army there to patrol as citizens because we need his help. Thanks, President, for helping us out, sending the Army. We're in the Army now. The militarization of our society. There'll be masked men showing up to be minders at every public event. Don't worry about the masked men there. Intimidate you in the back of the room there. Make sure nobody gets out of line. Here's Stone Street, Stone and Division. So bear with me. This wind's gonna funnel down Division until we get to Astor. So the only good news is if it's not raining tomorrow morning, it might be some crazy waves along the lakefront tomorrow morning. So we'll see how windy it is and if it's raining or not. I think there's a 10% chance of rain. If somebody messaged me there. Yeah, it comes from the politicians. I know that. We talk about it all the time. Goes back to the World's Columbian Exposition. Thanks for pointing that out. The real bonkier of the Windy City comes from the Chicago when it was trying to win the bid for the 1892 World's Columbian Exposition. It competed against New York and Boston and Philadelphia and Cincinnati, whoever else it competed against. And the politicians of that time, which is probably true of the politicians today or any politicians at any level, or me, if I was a politician, a lot of wind comes out of our mouth. And the New York newspapers, because they saw Chicago was going to somehow win the bid, they said, here comes those Chicago guys, that Windy City. And it was the wind out of the politician's mouth, because they knew, they visited Chicago, and even though we quickly rebuilt ourselves after the Great Chicago Fire, it was not as it was an overgrown cow town. But eventually we got some nice buildings, and it mostly came around the time of the World's Columbian Exposition. So here's the Halloween decorations here. We've seen these before. Here's the witches, and there was a tour going on the last time we were here, so I didn't get to stick around. But here's that's a nice witch, and they got the 3 witches with the cauldron up there. You got to go by them. They don't really have it turned on here, so we'll keep going. There's some across the way here. So thankfully the wind's dying down. We're 1 block in from Lakeshore Drive, Astor Street, Gold Coast, Chicago. So we're just gonna check out the Halloween decorations here. Hey, Mr. Get Her Done. Yeah, you know your history too there. That's good. That's what we do. We try to, as much as possible, my brain leaks, we talk about, you know, architectural history. We'll go by John Wellborn Root's house. 1 block over on State Street is the original Playboy Mansion. We'll go by one of the McCormick mansions. McCormick's had mansions all over the city. We'll go by the Charlie Persky house, which is Louis Sullivan, and he had a young apprentice that helped him with the drawings there in 1892, and his name was Frank Lloyd Wright. He didn't even go to college. Frank Lloyd Wright didn't even go to college, became one of the most well-known, respected architects, and it's because Louis Sullivan probably taught him everything he knew, and that was pretty good. Here's some Halloween decorations here. This is on Scott Street, so we're gonna stay on Astor here. But hey, they got a nice display here. So hey, what time we got here? 5:56 in the PM, Chicago, Illinois. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Here's the Undertaker. We see many Undertakers. I guess you can buy all this stuff at Home Depot. There's the Undertaker there, and there's I like the person stuck in the fountain. Somebody's trapped in the fountain there. There's some little ghouls there, the boneyard, the graveyard, and the Undertaker. That's a nice house there. Yeah. So here, we'll cross the street here. Here's the I didn't see this before. Here's some new put some new decorations out here. Hey, you got the skeleton there with the red shawl there. Very nice. Yeah, look at this ghoul. Hey, I like the color. It's a green crazy ghost there. Skeletons. Hey, creepy clowns. We're in the 1200 block of Astor Street. Is that right? Gold Coast, Chicago. No, I guess so. Pumpkins. Yeah, 1245 North Astor Street. See, I got to keep crossing back and forth, back and forth. There is a nice view to the John Hancock and the 900 North Michigan building. It kind of aligns with Astor Street. You see it there. You see how close we are to Michigan Avenue. That's the 900 North Michigan building. See, location, location, location. Hey, we got the Raggedy Ann. Look at this. Look at this window bay. These nice facades here. Halloween decorations on Astor Street. Hey, there's the witch. How you doing there? Spider webs. Yeah. Hey, look at this giant cat skeleton. Yeah, we got the skeleton trying to get out there. Hey, there's a nice cat. Hey, look at that cat skeleton. You got the little ghost. What's that in the window? There's a Jack-o'-lantern. Got some pumpkins. Hey, here's the, look at this guy. That's a nice Grim Reaper there. What do you think of that, Grim Evil? That's a good sigh there. Big head. Big head to 3 witches. Witch's brew. Yeah, look at this nice little porch. You can go catch your taxi. A lot of these have these in Gold Coast. They do nice apartment buildings. They'll build an awning over to the sidewalk there. How did they get that approved? Money. Here, Goethe and Astor. Gold Coast, Chicago. Yeah, this building is an interesting mid-century modern. You see how much it contrasts with these stripped down Art Deco apartment buildings from earlier. But there's a secret entrance to the garage over there. There's an underground party room that it's like a secret club there that the Rat Pack used to hang out here, 1300 Astor. And it's because the Playboy Mansion was just a block over there on State Street. People would go to the Pump Room. The Pump Room's just a block over on State Street. Now it's called the Ambassador Room, the Ambassador Hotel. Here we're on Astor Street, Gold Coast, Chicago. Thanks for tuning in. Here's John Wellborn Roots, the architect's house. We go by it all the time. I know I'm doing my greatest hits here. There he is, John Wellborn Root. There we see Burnham and Root inside the Rookery, the old Masonic Temple building. I remember I talked about the Masonic Temple building. They tore that down. That was near where the Chicago Theater was. It was on State Street where the Joffrey Ballet is now and that Walgreens is. There's a residential building there now. But here's John Wellborn Root, partner of Daniel Burnham. So here's the, wow, look at this look at that beak there. This bird man. It's got like wooden arms and a wooden body there. Look at that. It's a very interesting creature there. I like it. And look how nice it looks with the housing there. See, it's the housing combined with the Halloween decorations which make it so nice here on Astor Street. Here we'll film the skeleton. And don't enter. Don't enter. Okay. We've been warned. I like this artwork. Look at this artwork. It's just a sculpture. I don't think this has anything to do with Halloween. This is just a sculpture they placed in their front yard. But these houses, this whole block here on Astor Street is really nice. And you know, John Wellborn Root would pick a nice block to live on. Pitch black. I know. Sometimes I've been in Chicago when there's a blackout. It does get freaky. I don't know how people in the 1970s, there was, I think, like 3 days New York City was out of electricity in the late 1970s, and that's when the Son of Sam was roaming around Central Park. People were freaked out. Bronx was on fire, and the city was out of electricity, and it was before cell phones, and people just stayed and hunkered down, and people were roaming the streets, but it was freaky. Anybody remember what year was that? 1979 or 78, 77? There was a giant blackout. And I think in the early 2000s there was a blackout that affected the whole East Coast too. It affected a lot of cities. So hopefully that won't happen again. Anybody remember these blackouts where electricity goes out? Yeah. Yeah, the Masonic Temple there, Gene. Yeah, that's amazing. Can you believe they tore that down? They tore down the Morrison Hotel. They tore down the Sherman House. It was an amazing hotel. Here's this amazing single-family residential. It has a ballroom. They divided it up. You can rent out the back. They got Astor Court there that goes down the alley here. See, they got the doors open so you can look in there. See, you can rent. They usually, sometimes they list the apartments. You can go back Astor Court there. There's a coach house and a beautiful landscape yard there. This is Astor Court, Gold Coast, Chicago. We're just south of Schiller. And hey, they still got the tropical plants. So we got October the 28th in Chicago, 2025. They still got the tropical plants out because we haven't got a hard freeze yet. Eventually, one day we'll wake up and it'll be below freezing, and it'll be quite a shock because the lake usually keeps us a little warm. And here's the Charlie Persky this time of year. Here's the Charlie Persky house. I talk about this. This is the one that Louis Sullivan designed in 1892, and Frank Lloyd Wright worked as his young apprentice on it. It has this amazing balcony, the tight mortise Look at the light there. You can really see the balcony and the detailing. And if you look at the door here, you can tell Louis Sullivan. See, a private event here today. They're having a private event. I guess you can rent this out for parties. I'm sure people rent it out for Christmas time and stuff. The James Charnley House here, National Historic Landmark. And I said you can see how Louis Sullivan influenced, frankly, right here, the Society of Architectural Historians, 1892. And Charnley was a lumber baron. He made a fortune cutting down the Wisconsin and Michigan pine forest and shipping them out on a rail through Chicago, processing it. So there was lumber barons, there were beer barons, there were granary barons. That was the Buckingham family fortune. The Buckingham found they owned granaries on the Chicago River. There were McCormick Reaper fortunes, Sears Roebuck, Marshall Field merchant fortunes, Potter Palmer hotel fortunes. So many fortunes were made when this city boomed, and railroad barons and a lot of New York investor money. But hey, here we are on Astor Street here. We're just north of Schiller. And let's check out the Halloween decorations as we're getting to the magic hour. It's starting to get dark, but the lights are coming on. So hey, let's check out Halloween decorations. Halloween week here. I'm sure on Friday there'll be trick-or-treaters all up and down here. Look at that. Look at the Dia de los Muertos inflatables there. Got the nice wish there. Everything's blowing over. It's all the inflatables are getting blown off there. Yeah, look at that. How you doing?
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, look at that. Look at that cat. That's a nice cat. Dia de los Muertos, very beautiful. I like it. Look at that. Yeah, the nice Halloween decorations here. Look at that. Very nice. I like that a lot. You did a good job there. Hey, look at this skeleton. It's got the eyes. We saw some of the eyes had hearts in them last night. I'll tell you what, Fremont Street in Lincoln Park is an excellent street between like south of Armitage and north of North. It's a really large concentration of Halloween decorations. I posted that video if you want to just watch it, you know, if you don't live in this area. Hey, they got the Bears fan there, 22. They got the witches with the Bears fan in the cold. They got the frog in the pot. Yeah, we're all like the frog being boiled in the pot there. Hey, look at these Halloween decorations. Yeah, so here we'll head through here. There, look at it. Look at it. This place is amazing. Look at it lit up in the magic hour. Make sure a car's not coming here. Look at this beautiful housing in on Astor Street, north of Schiller, Gold Coast, Chicago. Look at that side entry, that glass, that carport kind of porch, closed porch there. You can almost use that as a conservatory. Hey, they got the spiders. We saw this earlier. There's all the spiders descending from the house there. Look how they spin around. That's nice. You got them free floating there. Hey, we got some pumpkins. Astor Street. Acorn squash. Yeah, get some acorn squash. You had snow? Yeah, we did. Yeah, 2 years ago we had snow on Christmas. Oh no, that's Christmas. Halloween of 2023, it snowed a little bit on October the 31st. You know why? I have a rerun of it. I have a rerun that got 22,000 likes, and all I did was film the snow from my skyscraper downtown. We looked like we were in a snow globe with the skyline, and I put it to Let It Snow, the music, the classic standard there, and everybody was in the mood for seeing some snow there on Halloween there, and everybody had a laugh about Chicago, which is good. Here's the hey, it's under contract. Emily Sachs. We saw where Emily Sachs has her office there. I think it's in Lincoln Park there. But here's the ghouls here. They got the double head skeleton. You got this is the best. You got the unicorn. Here's a little unicorn pony. It's a miniature unicorn with the two-headed person walking it there. Persons. This is a rare unicorn Halloween skeleton. Look at that. Very nice. Hey, they got this bones in the tree. You got the graveyard. You got the creepy ghouls here crawling out. Hey, Mickey Mouse pumpkin. Yeah. So hey, simple pleasures of life. It's free to walk down the street. Why not? For sure. For sure. 2 years ago, yeah. Check out my page there. Go You got to scroll way back. If you sort, it's easier if you can sort my videos by how many views they got, and it should be right at the top because it was one of my all-time, like literally hundreds of thousands of people have seen it, but it only lasted like a week. Like it did all that in a week, and then it never grew anymore. It just stayed frozen in time because you know why? They turned it off because they didn't want to pay me for it. And they do that, and it's one of the reasons one of the things I don't miss about TikTok. Here's hey, look at that. It was gonna break their bank. Here's yeah, we got some skeletons, we got some white pumpkins here. Look at that. I got the black and white pumpkins, the chocolate pumpkins here. Look at that. They got the ghosts coming out of here. I like that. But hey, look at this porch. Let's see if I can get this whole porch here. So here, this is Astor Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Or Lincoln Park. We're going towards Lincoln Park. We're still on the Gold Coast. Look at that nice porch. It's been a long day here. Sneaky. Sneak. Yeah, this is on Astor Street, and we're at Burton Place. Burton Place. There's a nice display here. There's one of the McCormick mansions. There's several McCormick mansions because the heirs of the McCormicks, there were 3 McCormick families that all had big families, and they all bought houses and were part of Chicago high society because the Cyrus McCormick had the McCormick Reaper, which became International Harvester and all the farm implements with Chicago and the hinterland. You know, it was very important to the development of the Midwest and the breadbasket of the United States here. But here, yeah, see Astor Street and Burton Place. Honorary Metropolitan Ian Cabos Way here. Ian Cabos Way. Look at the look at all the spider webs. There's the skeleton. Hey, we got the burning bushes here. Yeah, this is heading towards the lake, so we're heading towards the wind, but it makes the Halloween decorations look nice here. And we'll turn around and we'll still, there's some more on Astor Street as we head towards the Lincoln Park here. Hey, Astor Street, Gold Coast, Chicago, very nice. Thanks for checking out the Halloween decorations here. We're building up to Friday. We'll do the costume contest in North Halstead Boys Town there, Lakeview, Chicago. We did it the last 2 years, even when it snowed. And even though that snow hit 2 years ago, it didn't stick. By the time of the evening, it kind of melted. It was just cold. I remember people wearing their coats at the parade. And it snowed in the morning, and it was like a snow globe, but it's, you know, the trees were still green, and it didn't really stick. You know, see, there's still leaves on the trees. Trees are still mostly green. They're really not. There's a few turning yellow, but not that many. Honorary, I don't know. Oh, okay, all the signs. Okay, yeah. So, Chicago, all throughout the city, they have honorary signs that hang beneath the street signs. So I think if you apply and if they approve it, like, for example, the big Apple grocery store near where I live at Clark and Fullerton. At Clark and Fullerton, there's a brown honorary sign. It honors the original owner, the father, the late father of the people that still run, the mom and pops that run the big Apple grocery store there at Clark and Fullerton. I saw when they had a dedication ceremony. They'll have a dedication ceremony. So all throughout the city, last year they had the 40th anniversary of house music in Chicago. They dedicated several house music DJs that were instrumental to the history of house music in Chicago and the world. They gave them honorary signs and they put them in the neighborhoods where they grew up. Isn't that a great way you can honor the history of great Chicagoans? By underneath the streets, you got an honorary street. And then, like, Hugh Hefner even had one, but I think it's gone now because I don't know why. But hey, here's the here's the Halloween decorations here on Astor Street. Here's the Grim Reaper here. And Iggy's talking, and nice laugh there. You got the skeleton, and that's the back of the McCormick mansion that they added onto it. Look at that! Look at the skeletons going up there. Oh, they're taking a picture there. Okay, so I'll let them take a picture. That's good. So I didn't realize they were taking a picture there. I heard them talking there. That's good. Yeah, they're taking a picture in front of the Halloween decorations. They're very nice. That's what I'm doing too. All right. So here, we'll head through here. Hey, there's the Grim Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper. I mean, that was the Undertaker, but we saw the Grim Reaper was laughing at us there. Here's the woodblock alley. Let's walk, since it's Halloween and it's windy and it's creepy. And this is the backside of the Archbishop's Mansion. This is the Archbishop's Mansion. This used to be a Catholic cemetery. Where we're walking right now, it used to be a Catholic cemetery. Not only that, this is a wooden alley. This is the woodblock alley. It's a real wooden alley. How many alleys are on the National Historic Register? Built in 1909, restored in 2011. This is wood block. I'll head towards the light so you can see it better in the street lamp here. But this is the coach house behind the Archbishop's residence. I think there's 19 chimneys, or at least over a dozen. And we're heading down the wood block alley here. And it actually wraps around the middle alley here. And this is nice housing of the Gold Coast, Chicago wooden alley here. And so there's where it ends. See, it becomes a regular concrete alley with the garages. Hey, so here we'll head through here. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, 1909, you got it. Yeah, very nice Halloween house. Yeah, we made it. I think there's, this is convenient because we filmed this before and it's so good that we're going to film it again. And this wooden alley links up with, these are some of the best Halloween decorations in the Gold Coast. We saw some of the best decorations in Lincoln Park last night, but this is the Gold Coast still, and we've been here through many times. See, they got the three witches with the cauldron here. This is State Street. Now we're on State Street. Look at their eyes. They got crazy eyes.
Hark! Dost thou hear their calls, sister? Our familiars have returned. Ah, yes. Our royal crows have been watching from the shadows. Traveler, did thou think you could wander outwards unseen? Our crows? Oh, nowhere to hide. Always in their sights. And now thou art in ours.
Ah, they're gonna get us. So this is nice. Look at, they got the sarcophagus here. There's the coffin. They're in the planter there. You got the skulls going up here. But there's the look. They changed them. Now they're looking at us. Look at their expressions. There is the danger zone. So welcome highway to the danger zone here. Happy Halloween there. And hey, there we go. There's Granny. She just goes like 24/7. She finally stopped there. Look at this. How you doing? Your hair's blowing off here. I'm fixing. Yeah, you got your hair out of your eyes there.
Want to play a game of tag? If I catch you, I get to turn you into a toad. Abracadabra! Oh! Judging by the speed you jumped back, perhaps you are part toad already.
So we got the skeleton in the fountain there. This one's playing with the dog. These ones are playing cards, drinking wine there. Hey, they're just like the Grateful Dead there. I like it. Look at that. I say that every time I see this. But these are great. See, they're. And here's the witches here. Here's the skeletons here. Yeah. And they real gas lights. Yeah. So yeah, we'll show you this will look really nice. The Archbishop's residence here, the Catholic Archdiocese, or the Cardinal used to live here. Cardinal George used to live here, but I think Cardinal Supich lives down by the Holy Name Cathedral. And here we're on State Street. We're up by North Avenue, the north end of the Gold Coast. There's that housing you can see from Lakeshore Drive. And we walked up Astor Street, but now we're on State Street, and we're gonna head over. We'll go through the park a little bit. I'm gonna try to get to Eugenie Street so we can get back into Lincoln Park and see some more Halloween decorations here. There's a crypt, the crypt keeper, that's what it is, yeah. Those eyes. Spooky. Yeah. Yeah, John, I know. You remember, I was walking up Clark Street, and there was like, it was one of those spider decorations that was wrapped around a tree, and it was so windy that night too. It was blowing down the street like a tumbleweed. I posted that rerun. That's great. So hey, thanks for remembering that. Here, we'll head through the park. It'll be dark and spooky here. I might go straight over Clark Street to stay by the light here, because I'll lose everybody if we go through the dark. We're already losing people here. It's just a Tuesday. I guess a lot of people are going to watch this World Series game. What time we got? 6:20. 6:20 in the PM here. Who thinks the Federal Reserve is going to lower interest rates tomorrow? Everybody in the everybody's on the same side of the trade. They always say that's dangerous when everybody's positioned. They think it's a sure thing. And how many times has the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates when stock market's at the all-time high? It rarely happens, because it'll mean the market will just go higher, and that's why everybody's positioned the way they are usually. But it's not guaranteed. We don't know until it happens. and you know, we're in the late stage capitalism phase of the market, in my opinion, where it just goes up no matter what the news is. And that's usually, you know, they're like, this can't be the peak, it can't be this, you know. But, you know, it is October. So hey, count your profits there. You can light a cigar with a $100 bill. You're guaranteed you're set for life. Never sell your stocks, they'll never go down. The billionaires will become trillionaires, and the millionaires will become billionaires, and the rest of us will work for them. Isn't that great? We won't even work for them. AI will work for them. We'll work for AI. I welcome our new AI masters. You know, I feel like we're in the 1996 Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode where Kang and Kodos come down, and Homer's at the end. He's working there, and he's chained to the machine, and he's like, I voted for Kodos. Throw your vote away. Go ahead, vote for a third party. Ross Perot punches his hat. Who's Ross Perot? I guarantee you, anybody under 30 has no idea who Ross Perot is. And keep it that way, that's fine. Lost to the ash heap of history. Yeah, Wes knows what I'm talking about. Flowers to the mods. Yeah, thanks to my great mods here. Thanks I forgot to thank Pizza Lisa was on at lunch. I thank Anita. Thank Anita now here. And all mods there. Shauna, Mary Therese. Good news is I saw Taco Jalapeno Salsa replied that she saw Ernie's good. So at least she saw. We saw Chris saw that she was there too. He said, hey, we miss you there. That's good. She's taking a break. I think she's smart and just taking a break from social media. And now is a great time to take a break from social media because of the weird times we're going through here. It's hard to watch because once your feed gets bombarded with those images, they just keep coming and coming. And here's the children's fountain here. I learned that from watching Jennifer You Should Eat. And we're by the History Museum. This is not as old as you think. They cast this with like leftover molds, and I think it's from the late 1980s. There used to be, it's called early 1980s Jane Byrne administration. She was the first female mayor of Chicago. As we go past the History Museum here, Clark Street. Now we're Clark Street. We just walked down North Avenue, and there's the Moody Church. Sometimes the light comes through those windows. There's a big amphitheater in there, beautiful acoustics for the choral music of the Moody Church there. We might hear that at Christmas time.
Oh, that's me. That's my box for me.
That's good. So here's some of the stuff, the gift shop at the Chicago History Museum here. Hey, the city on fire, 1871. Got some leaves. Here's the Moody Church. Yeah, I hear you, Carlos. I smell what you're cooking there. That's good. Yeah, I don't know why they want to scare everybody so much. That's why I posted that video. There was a British couple, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers on many social media accounts. And they travel the world and post their travels and their tour guides. And they were going to go do Chicago. And they said all these people warned them. They said, don't come to Chicago. And I wish I could have asked them. I said, were they all Americans? Because if there's anybody bashing Chicago, it's an American. Rarely do I encounter anybody outside the United, even people from Canada do not bash Chicago the way Americans do. And why do we bash our own country? Because of politics, I know. But, or you don't like our mayor, which is politics, or you don't like the crime, which is politics, because we live here. There was crime in 1999, there was crime in 1929, there was crime in 1899. There's a lot of crime in the city. For some reason, we've always had it in abundance. And no matter who's the president, no matter what the policies are, prohibition, or the war on drugs, or the gang wars, or the war on immigration. What is this called now? What are we going through? The war on immigration? The great American jingoist experiment, jingoism. But this British couple, they decided to give it a chance. They came to Chicago. They stayed downtown. Now I'm sure they didn't. They probably stayed in the downtown, the tourist area, same areas I walk here because I live here. Live in Lincoln Park. Walk to downtown. We got videos on the south and west side. I don't go there on my regular course of business, but we make a point to go there, especially for cultural events. But they came to Chicago. They had a great time. They said they didn't feel unsafe. They were worried about ICE. They came here, I think, recently when ICE was first starting. And they said they like the architecture. They liked that a river ran right through the middle of the downtown. And they said they're glad they didn't list all the people that told them not to come here. And I wanted to ask them, I said, was it Americans telling you that? And tourism's down in the United States. Tourism's down for Las Vegas, San Antonio, Florida, Walt Disney World. Tourism's down because we're losing our international tourists. Our international tourists don't want to come here. That's politics. The politics of the tariffs are affecting people wanting to spend money here. And they go through customs and be possibly harassed because the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court says that ICE can profile U.S. citizens, they can certainly profile visitors that are here as our guests that have passports. And isn't that a chilling effect that if you're from any country south of the border, all of South America, Central America, that comes into your calculation. Do you want to risk coming to the United States and they think you have to prove that not only are you not a U.S. citizen, that you reside in a different country, and make sure ICE doesn't tackle you and bring you to the ground, because they're doing it in tourist areas. They're doing it in affluent areas. They're not just doing it in poor neighborhoods, and they might do it in a small town near you, and then nobody will want to come to your town. And this is what we're experiencing in Portland, Chicago, New York, great American cities. You know, so this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You know, we'll do a check on gas prices. Hey, at least gas prices are down. Hey, we can celebrate low gas prices here. $4.19, ultimate $5.19. Hey, we got the light here. We'll head across. Go to Bikini here. We'll see if the ducks are out. Hey, I'm just filling time here. We'll go back to filling the Halloween decorations, the wind. There, look at the Sears Tower. Look at the Sears Tower there. Wow. And then we can look all the way down to the Board of Trade here. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, good. So we made it across there. My hat was going to blow off. It's very windy. These tall buildings don't make it easy with the wind here. Yeah, it's such a violation of privacy. I know. They're doing it when the kids are trying to trick or treat. I mean, come on, you know. And I'm happy. There was somebody that posted a video, and he goes, I rarely post anything political because he goes, I think it's rude. I'm a professional. I don't want to inject politics. See, look at this. What's going on here? What's this? I guess. Oh, they're trying to turn in there. Okay, good. He goes, I never post stuff about politics. But he was so incensed because he went to a Halloween party And, you know, I think his date and some of his friends were, you know, Latino, Hispanic, or, you know, they could be profiled, you know what I mean. And somebody showed up to, and I wore many controversial Halloween costumes. I dressed as the DEA. You know, I'm sure I offended my friends with some of my costumes, but I wouldn't do this. Somebody came to a Halloween party dressed as ICE, and he was deeply offended. This was a white guy, and he was like, "What did my friends think?" I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed as an American that this guy thought this was funny. And, you know, we have people all the time. They're like, "This is what I voted for." So you voted for mass people to like intimidate other Americans trying to get the quote unquote illegals out, you know, and all this. You know, we see. They say, "Oh, they're going after the hardened criminals." Well, they're going after the tamales and the people's moms selling candies with kid on their bags too. You know. Hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Eugenie Street. Same as it ever was. America's gone through this before. We'll go through it again. We can never escape our. We're so wealthy we have to exclude people. We have such riches and we can't share. Everybody's worried about their own thing, and I'm worried about it too. We're all trying to make ends meet. Here's the duck house. Here, we'll let them talk. We'll come back and film the ducks here. I'll show you. There's the workmen's cottages here on Eugenie. Here, we film these all the time. We walked by them this morning, but it's nice to see them at night here. We'll check out the ducks. The ducks were not out this morning, so now here's the ducks. There, they left here. So here, we'll go past the tentacles. These workmen cottages that were built in the 1870s here. This is Eugenie Street. The Old Town Triangle. We're west of Wells. We're going to go up Crilly Court because they got the nice Halloween decorations, the cute ones. Hey, here's the ducks. What do you think, ducks? You like this wind? Yeah. Where's the turtle at? What do you say, ducks? Hey, here's the house with the ducks. Yeah. How you doing? What do you say? You want to go? You want to say something to YouTube? Here, I'll let you be there. So, there's the ducks here in Old Town. Yeah, we'll go up Crilly Court here. We'll see if this Ichabod Crane thing, or no, it's like Cratchit. It's like Cratchit from the Christmas Carol here. Bob Cratchit. Yeah, knowing how to pick the locks. There you go. Can you talk? Are you on? I guess it's not on. Sometimes they have them on. Sometimes they turn them off. I guess they're battery powered. We got a rerun with this one on. So we'll just say, oh, it got flipped around. The wind flipped it around. There it is. There, can you see now? He said, yeah, thanks for flipping me around. So hey, we walk down this all the time, but we'll just breeze through here. There's Jack. Skeletons. This is Crilly Court. We go through here all the time, but hey, it's Halloween time. Doesn't last all year, so let's film it while it's here. We do the same thing with Christmas decorations. Hey, they got the nice projection on the wall here, Crilly Court, Old Town Triangle. This is an historic district. I'm walking home from work. That's why I always go through here. I like these little ghosts. Yeah, they got a nice projection here. 1700 block, Crilly Court. Very nice. Hey, we saw this woman before here. Yeah, we were on the other side this morning, and they got them on both sides of the street here. They got them strung up on the pole here. Yeah, Michael. We got all the Michaels. D. Michael Anderson was tuning in before there. That's great. Here's the Michael Rodriguez. Here's there's the Undertaker. They got that creepy clown coming out of the garden department. I think that's good. That's a nice clown there. It's like a John Wayne Gacy clown there. Look at that. That's freaky. Ha! Ah! Happy Halloween there. How's everybody doing? Hey, you got the snake. Yeah. There's some really nice ones. This porch up here. And we saw some of the people that live on the street. I said, you got a really nice street for decorations. This is St. Paul. St. Paul, Crilly Court. Yeah, the great department stores. So it looks like they're setting up the Christmas decorations for Macy's. We'll go in there probably later this week. Probably Thursday we'll walk through the loop. Tomorrow there's a bridge lift. Well, we might walk through there tomorrow because I might head straight over to the South Branch. So later this week during lunchtime we'll walk through Macy's and see if they got all the Christmas decorations out. They already started setting up last week. I was amazed. Look at isn't this so nice? They got the nice Halloween decoration. They got these big long strands of cloth here that go orange and black here. They got the beautiful porch here on St. Paul here, Old Town Chicago. Thanks for tuning in here. Halloween decorations. Yeah, look at that. They got the I don't want to call it bunting, but it's just like streamers. Yeah, this is Chicago. We're north of the Loop. We're in a neighborhood called the Old Town Triangle, where it's a historic district. It's kind of technically in Lincoln Park, but there is an area called Old Town on Wells Street. But we walked up through the Gold Coast. We walked up Michigan Avenue, walked to the Gold Coast, and now we're going to enter Lincoln Park. We're just checking out the Halloween decorations. We got 6:35 in the p.m. I know the Blue Jays face the Dodgers there. Starts at 7 for Game 4 there. Otani's supposed to pitch there. It's supposed to be nice. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they got the. That's good. So is that Jen? I think. Yeah. Okay. Good. Hey, have a good night. I'll see you later. No, I understand that. No, that's good. Hey, I'll talk to you later. There. Isn't it amazing? Crilly Court's nice, and the ducks are out. So hey, I'll talk to you later. That's great. Very nice. So hey, we're seeing friends and neighbors here, and I'm pretty oblivious because she was laughing at me. She's good because she snuck up on Ernie, and see, it's dangerous. It's dangerous because there's so many live streamers walking around Chicago. You never know where one's lurking about, and that's great. See, she's checking out the Halloween decorations. Fellow friends and neighbors here. Hey, you can watch. You can just flip over there. You see that? You see that? Yeah. Department stores. So here, alumni lanes. Yeah, let's go. Oh, good. They got the snake out. So these people usually decorate really nicely for Halloween, but they smartly wait till like the week before Halloween to unveil their Halloween decorations. In years past, they did like Blair Witch projects. They did other things, and now they got a giant golden snake. So this is Willow. This is North Park here. There's the Menominee Boys and Girls Club. And look, they got some witches and stuff on this house. But here's the gold house. And I saw Jen laughing at me. She probably could hear me coming from a mile away, my loud voice. And she snuck behind me there. Look at the golden snake here. Look at the golden snake. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. They got an alligator. Wow. So you're walking down, you're like not paying attention. You look up from your cell phone and you see that, and you're like, oh, it almost got me. There's the crocodile, and they got the giant snake here. So that's a nice. Where'd they get that at? Where do you store that at? You got to put that in the attic. Very nice. Maybe they rent it. Some of these places they rent stuff. But hey, let's see if the guy. He changed them up once. They had like some tropical stuff and they were drinking a beer. And then the last time they had the winter, they had some, they changed their clothes there. And they got the two skeletons here on Willow. Yeah, someone plays the, you saw me, yeah, winter. See, you were watching Jen's live. Isn't that great? She was probably laughing at me. She saw my crazy hair there. And hey, there they are. Oh, so they are changed. They changed them. He changed them again. She's wearing some like negligee, and he's wearing a thong. Look, this is awesome. So he changed them up. So I'm gonna have to do a compilation and show how I'll have to find the footage where he's changed them 3 times. See, these are the skeletons here on Willow. Good job. Yeah, we've talked to this guy before. That it changes it up there. That's good. In years past. So we're on Willow Street. In Old Town Chicago. We're in between North Park and Sedgwick, and we're going to head up through Lincoln Park. We'll probably just head up Sedgwick. And last night we went all the way over to Wayne and Webster, which is over by Webster and Clybourne where Pequod's Pizza is, and there's a wonderful Halloween display there. I have posted the reruns. If you missed it, please check out my short reruns there. It's the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding Halloween style. There's skeletons there, and it's really freaky. You walk through all these vignettes, and they use mirrors and strobe lights, and you walk through his yard there, and they got creepy babies and fun all around. They have the Harry Styles is buried there, some other boy bands. And what are they doing at the wedding? I don't know. But hey, there's some nice lights there. There's some nice Halloween lights. Here's Margie's still here. Margie's still. No, it's not really cold. It's like 55 degrees. I'm overdressed here. You know, it's a jacket weather. It's good for a jacket. I think there's a chance it's kind of getting overcast. Look, there's the 37 bus. What's the 37 bus doing? Oh, there is a bus on Sedgwick. Yeah, the 37 there is a bus on Sedgwick. I forgot about that. You see it going past the Marshall Field Garden Apartments. Yeah, this is the Sedgwick 37 bus to Fullerton. Look at that. So, hey, we missed the bus. So hey, let's go up Hudson. We'll go up Hudson Street. We've gone up Sedgwick many times. There's some nice decorations that way. But here's Margie Still. This would be a great place to watch the World Series. Margie Still. I think this goes back to 1886. I think this is older than the House of Glunts, but it must not have operated continuously. But Margie Still. There was a real Marge, and they kept the name there. And we're at this is Menominee and Sedgwick. Menominee and Sedgwick. Now we're in Lincoln Park pretty much. This is where Ogden used to run through, which defined one of the edges of the Old Town Triangle. See how that housing's at an angle? That's why. Yeah, bar. We actually have bars here. We've lost so many bars since the pandemic. A few have come back, but we've lost more than we've gained. And see, I stopped drinking and we lost all the bars. I was supporting all these local businesses. I think I'd have more money. There, we'll head through this little park we go through in the morning sometimes, the Midwest Buddhist Center. But hey, yeah, you can check out Jennifer You Should Eat there. She's on TikTok. You could have saw my back of my head there. I noticed that was her, and I saw her like snickering. And I was like, yeah, she thinks that I didn't know that she was there, and then I had to let her know. And then she scattered because she didn't want me to get her. Here's the Midwest Buddhist Temple. Yeah, look, the light came on here. Look how if we back away, you'll be able to see St. Michael's. See that steeple there rising above the Midwest Buddhist Temple. And there are some leaves here. There's the Schmidt-Mitzgary building here. Look how nice that looks. And we got some leaves. And yeah, let's head up Hudson Street. There's the clock tower. What time we got? 6:42. At 6:45, we should hear the bells of St. Michael. So in 3 minutes, make me stop talking so I don't talk over it. Quit quitting? Yeah. I have to make one. Yeah, make a drink there. Yeah, go ahead, make a drink and watch the World Series there. It's about to start. I'll end my live right as the World Series is starting there. We got about another 15-20 minutes here walking up towards Clark and Fullerton here. Hey, we got some witches and Halloween decorations here, Hudson Street. Yeah, there's the skeletons in the urn there. Some nice inflatables. Hey, they got the little skeleton there, the ghosts, spiders on the wall. Hudson Street. This is a nice, looks like a large cottage there. There's the boneyard. See if we're missing some across the way. There. Boo. Yeah, this is a nice little stoop here. They get the cute little ghosts with the hats. Yeah, look at that. Cheers. Yeah, drink. Everybody drink up. Everybody crack open a beer there. Get some wine. Get a mixed drink. Yeah. Smoke them if you got them. No, I didn't say that. I wouldn't recommend that. That's bad. But here's Hudson Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. I'm getting hungry. Make me some dinner. Don't ask me what I'm gonna make, but I know what I'm gonna make. On this weekend I bought 2 filet mignon medallions, and I got some potatoes and some salad in the fridge there, and that'll go good with the World Series there. And I try to limit my red meat, but every once in a while I gotta eat a steak. I'm a carnivore. I've dated women that are vegetarians. There's the bells of St. Michael's. $6:45 on the dot here. Hudson Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. That's the bells of St. Michael's. 6:45. Yeah. Yeah, check out Jennifer. You should eat. Check out Ernesto there, Chicago Nuggets. He's got some good reruns of Pilsen. He did a good job with the music and editing it down. Jody GTV's been streaming. Steve Lyon, Alexander, Chicago, Nia. I think Nia's still streaming. She always shows the nice clubs, the hot spots. I should have told those women from St. Louis. I'm like, follow Nia. She'll show you all the nice date spots. She's like, if you're looking for a man or a woman, here's where you go. And it's great. Hey, Cougar Pride. Here's the furry spider. Here's the boneyard. Yeah, we got some patriotic ghost here. Oh, there it is. Rest in peace there. Look how they put it under. That's a good use of the rocks there. Look how it looks like it's underneath the rocks there, or the concrete. Hey, waving to us, the pumpkin. Oh, proud supporter of Abraham Lincoln Elementary there. Yeah, I love Lincoln there. Land of Lincoln. Oh, here's the pirate. Yeah, I forgot about the pirate. So this is a nice Halloween display here on Hudson Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. They got the pirate. We're about Wisconsin here, and we're Wisconsin Street in Chicago. I know it's confusing. Look, he's at the helm there. He's got the steering wheel. There's the pirate. And hey, got the ghouls in the window and the tree. You got the big ghost. What they got in there? Yeah, very nice. There, got some skeletons climbing up the fence there. Yeah, they got the Dia de los Muertos kind of. Is that what that is? Kind of the lights there. I like it. Yeah, look at that spider with the orb there. Yeah, bats, skeletons. Hey, there's the happy pumpkin. So I think this witch is supposed to shoot out. It's supposed to retract and shoot out. It flies on the broom. Okay, but they got it all the way.
My next ingredient has arrived. You myself no longer deprive your youth and flesh the only price to ensure me of eternal life.
There's her broom. There's her. I like her ruby slippers there, or whatever that is. Looks like hooves. Yeah, it goes up the tree there. I never noticed that. Hey, look how nice the housing is here. Hudson Street. Yeah, they got the spider. Hey, here's the skeleton. Yeah, tostadas. look at the oh, the hippie skeleton. It's got some flowers in its hand there. There's the splat. There's the splat witch. Across the street here. This looks like some nice spider webs on this one. Hey, they got the dumpster. Got the ivy growing up the tree here. Hey, look at the spider webs. Got the big spider there. Yeah, they're checking them out. There's a bar up here called the River Shannon, I think it's what they call it here. Let's go up here. No, it's called something else here. How you doing? T-line tea time. Toothpaste. Toothpaste and Oreos. Oh no. You guys are doing tricks. Trick or treat. Yeah, so there's some nice Halloween decorations over there. We missed it. So thanks for those people put the Halloween decorations up over there. I just want to get home at this point. Tuesday, we got a long way to go here. Well, World Series begins there in 11 minutes there. Blue Jays versus the Dodgers, game 4. We're on Hudson Street here. We're up by Armitage. Hey, there's the skeleton. Hey, they got some nice orbs there. Yeah, over there they got some stuff. Yeah, the River Shannon, I was right. So here's the River Shannon. They're getting ready for the World Series there. It's another good place to watch the World Series, come to the River Shannon here on Armitage and Hudson. There, they got the dogs, the dog-friendly bar there. Hey, they got the fire hydrant for the dogs. Hey, see, look, they got all the, there, the pup there likes it. Yeah, how you doing? The River Shannon here. We'll head up Sedgwick here. Actually, let's go up Cleveland Street. We'll go up Cleveland Street. We'll do it that way. There's the River Shannon. Yeah, pull yourself up at the bar there. Have a good time. And people are giving me weird looks there because I walked by it twice. I looked too. It was okay the first time when I walked by twice. They're like, there he goes again. If I went by a third time, people would run out and chase me out. Stop filming us. Yeah, the River Shannon here, established 1948. Everything looks nice, yeah. Everything looks nice at night. We need some snow on the ground. The J City Rocky girl would be like, no. No snow. Hey, we saw Jennifer, you should eat, that's great. Oh, dogs checks the messages at the fire hydrant. Oh, that's what, yeah, I saw them putting something in the fire hydrant there. Yeah, that's great. See, you put it in the bar there. It's a dog-friendly bar. Most Chicago bars, people bring their dogs to the bars. It's nice. Give the dog a bone, get a milk bone there. So here, this is Cleveland and Armitage here. We'll head up Cleveland here. Hey, there's some decorations. Yeah, I'm seeing more decorations. People are turning on the lights here. So here we'll head up Cleveland Street. Head on home here. Dogs want to have fun. Yeah, dogs just want to have fun. We don't want any stinking snow. That's what Jay would say. You're right. Hey, we got Halloween decorations here. We might see Jay at the Halloween. She always goes to the haunted Halstead there and films the parade. I'll learn from her lesson this year, and I'll head further north after the parade. So we'll have to wait for the parade to get to us, because I always try to film it right when it starts and it's too crowded. And I think she had better cell reception last year, I noticed, where she was at. So we'll go up that way. We'll give it a try up there. And hey, we're heading up Cleveland Street here, the home stretch, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Hey, there's some skeletons. Grim, is there any good Halloween decorations in Joliet? I don't think they're doing the prison anymore because it burned down, right? Or it affected it. They used to do They would do a haunted house in the prison, the Joliet jail there, which was used in the Blues Brothers, which would be amazing. But that Indiana limestone, or the limestone. Look at the skeletons there. Hey Phil, thanks for tuning in there. Hope it's working out here. Yeah. You know, I'm going by here anyway, you know, just changing of the season here. It's nice to see this housing at different times of year. We're seeing it at dark. People are always like in the summertime, they're like, why don't you ever walk at night? I said, just wait till the wintertime. We'll be in the dark all the time. We'll be dark in the morning, dark at night. You know, we're in the 6 months of darkness here. We're going to be doing a lot of filming in the dark. Here we'll go by the six-way intersection here of Cleveland, Lincoln, and Dickens. Very Dickens-esque neighborhood. It sounds like I said a bad word. Apartments for rent there. Renovated studios. Their website there. See, you don't have to be rich. You just have to be willing to pay high rent for a small place. I have a tiny apartment here in Big Bad City. Ditch your car. Use transit. Ride the divvy bike. Get an e-bike. Get your one wheel. There's the Nucci's. Here's the Nucci's pizza, appetizers, classics. Yeah, get everything. Here we got the light here. So they turned off the fountain in this park. Pizza and pasta here, the Nucci's. There's the Carnival grocery store. It's like the Big Apple. And there's the Gemini. So here we'll head up this way. Wait for the light to change here. There. It used to be the Four Farthings. Here, let's zoom into the Gemini. It's so symmetrical here. It's nice. Look at that. Nice little triangle building there. Pass by there. Work out of Joliet. Terry C. There you go. When one door closes, you probably go to jail. D. Michael. Yeah. Go to work in the dark like a cave miner. Yeah, I know that. Imagine that. Imagine you're a cave miner. You got the day shift. You get up in the morning, it's dark, especially in the wintertime. You go work in the mines all day in the dark, and then you come out at night, it's already dark. You work 10 hours, and you're working for the company store. You're on the cycle there. All work all the time. Here, let's where are we at here? Yeah, let's go over this way. Let's cut up Hudson. I just want to see if there's anything up Hudson. There's a 1 block stretch of Hudson, and we'll pop out at Webster. And then I know there's some Halloween decorations over there. Yeah, the dog's waiting for. The door keeps opening there. He sees his guy there checking out. There's the Gemini. Hey, people are eating on there. That's good. There's the nice murals here for the Carnival. Look at the little dog on the ball. Here, Carnival Grocery. Look at this sign. Look at that guy right there. Prime Meats. They got a meat market in the back. A little grocery store with the meat market. Big Apple's the same way. They're full service. Big Apple will deliver your groceries there. I owe my soul to the company store. 16 pounds, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. I sold my soul to the company store. Sold my soul to artificial intelligence. We created God, and it's sending all the profits to the billionaires. They got to God first. They got God in their pocket, and they're using it against us. Hey, here's Hudson Street. At least Hudson Street's dark and creepy. There's some Halloween decorations. There is a real taxi here. Look at that. So this is Hudson and Dickens here. This is Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're head up here. We'll go past Policeman Bellinger's house. Policeman Bellinger lived on this street. We talk about the Great Chicago Fire, 1871. The fire started, we talked, in early October. We did the whole spiel there. It was really dry. Started down, jumped the river there, went through the loop. And by the time it got to the water tower, they lost water pressure. And the firefighters, they were already fighting for like a day at that point, and they just gave up and said everybody for themselves, including the policemen. So fires and policemen that had houses in the path of the fire, they could tell by then which way it was going to burn because the wind was driving it toward north and west towards the lake, this area. And this was kind of on the edge of the city at that time. The city wasn't as large, 300,000 people. City of Chicago, Great Chicago Fire. We're on Hudson Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're north of Dickens, we're south of Webster. And right here it is. See that oval window? This is Policeman Bellinger's house. This was built just before the Great Chicago Fire, probably 1869, 1870. And he raced back when the fire was still south of here, heading this way. I'm sure they show the glowing embers. It burned 2 days and 2 nights. And it slowly came this way. It was tornadoes and it was raining embers. And so he got up on his roof, and he had like barrels of water, and he doused his roof and I guess it was wooden shingles with water as much as he could douse it. And then when he ran out of that, I suppose he used cider from his basement. And as long as it wasn't flammable. And he successfully saved his house from being burnt down. There's only 3 houses that we know of on the north side that survived the Great Chicago Fire in this area that still survived. Some of them survived, they tore them down subsequently. One of them is this, Policeman Bellinger's house. Here it is, 2121 North Hudson. Here it is, 2121 North Hudson Avenue. They got nice Halloween decorations, but it's a wood frame house. It sits on a stone foundation, I think, or brick foundation, and 1869. The other 2 that survived are the I call them the twin sisters, and I found out they were built even earlier than they thought. They were probably built in the 1860s, and they were there several years before the fire. But since the fire they just missed the fire. The fire just went towards the lake. And there was another house at Clark and Fullerton that was there until the 1920s, and it looked like an Addams Family house. It's set on 7 acres of land. They sold all that land to build those high rises along. There used to be mansions along Lakeview, and it was all like abandoned and creepy by the 1920s, and so they tore it down. Early 1920s, they tore it down to build an apartment hotel there Abraham Lincoln went to that house because it used to be owned by Ebenezer Peck. He was a lawyer, and that's how he knew Lincoln, because he was a lawyer. When Lincoln would come from Springfield to go to Chicago for politics or business, he would stay as a guest at Ebenezer Peck's house there at Clark and Fullerton. Hey, here's the guy on the safari there. There's the pumpkin. Let's see if they got something carved here. Hey, there's a nice house. Look how it's set back here. Can't tell if that's carved or there's something in there. I like that. Look at that statue. But hey, they got the nice house. They got the skeleton hanging there. It's set back. This is on Hudson Street. But that was Policeman Bellinger's house there. Survived the Great Chicago Fire. We got reruns on it there. Seeing Halloween time here. Hey, we got spooky sounds here. Slamming doors. Hey, see that, Margie? 300,000 people at 1871. Yeah. And so you imagine that. So what was remarkable about Chicago, and other cities recently have gone through this, like Dubai, where Dubai, you look at a picture of Dubai in 1970, it was just a few buildings, and now it's this, the center of the whole Middle East pretty much. And Chicago was similar in that in 1830 Chicago was a tiny fur trading outpost, and there was a few Potawatomi that still lived here because it was before the Trail of Tears and the Indian Removal Act, and that's when it was enacted, 1830. And Fort Dearborn was destroyed earlier in the War of 1812, and so Chicago grew from like 100 people. Literally, there was like only 100 people here in 1830. Well, if you count the Potawatomi, it's like a few thousand. So a few thousand people here in 1830, and by 1870, 40 years later, it grew from, let's say, 300 to 300,000. So that's an amazing increase in just a few years, you know. And so, even more remarkably, after the Great Chicago Fire, Chicago had rebounded enough by 1880 to be about 500,000. It doubled in 10 years. And Chicago annexed a bunch of land, which helped its population grow. Chicago wouldn't have gotten to 1 million by the 1892 World's Columbian Exposition if it didn't annex a bunch of land. Hyde Park was its own city. Some of the west side, where we just walked through, the North Avenue was the north boundary of the city until the Civil War. And so it annexed a bunch of land, and then it was 1 million people by 1890, and then it was 2 million people in 1910. Yeah, we've seen this guy before, the Jester.
And we've only begun. I have so many to choose, over a ton, but having trouble deciding which one. Every mask is horrific, even worse than the last. The performance is top-notch and never outclassed.
But hey, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. The World Series started, so I know most people are going to watch the World Series. Hey, have a good night. We'll see. Hope it's a good game. Hopefully it doesn't go 18 innings. And we'll be back on tomorrow morning. There might be a bridge lift at lunch there. We saw it last Wednesday. We might not catch the whole thing. We might just catch the end. We'll see how it goes at work tomorrow. And I might come on early. We might get lucky. And then Friday we'll do the Halloween parade there in North Holstead, and then I'll probably take the weekend off. Don't forget the time change is coming up, and I'll talk to you later. So thanks, mods. Thanks everybody else. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate everything here, and we'll talk to you later. And you watch Jennifer, You Should Eat. She's probably still streaming. She's laughing at me here. That's good. I was so nice seeing her. I want to. Well, I need to see her in person instead of just walking around. She's probably laughing absurdity. Her and I should just hang out instead of just walking around talking to everybody else all the time. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. All right, bye. Thanks everybody. Marco, yeah. Subi, T-Lime, Tea Time, D, Michael, yeah, Kevin. See you later there. Feel good. Kevin, it was supposed to be the Cubs and the Tigers in the World Series. What happened? Maybe next year. Okay. We'll talk to you later. All right, bye. Thanks, everybody.